Hey everybody, good morning. Good morning from the Kingdom of Wonder, Cambodia. Welcome to the Uke Revolution Live. This is going to be a lesson for the shocking blues song, Venus. This was also covered by Bananarama in the 80s, and the productions are really similar. They're the same key, the same kind of stuff going on. This could be a total lie, actually. I didn't listen to the whole Bananarama song yesterday, but they're in the same key. They're in the same key. Bananarama just uses a bunch of like 80s sounding instruments compared to the 60s version by Shocking Blue. So we are going to look at, let me see, what are we going to look at? We are going to look at the chords that you need to play the song. The strum patterns that I suggest for this song, I'm going to give you the little riff, the kind of, I think it's an organ riff that happens before any chorus. Da 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 da. She's got it. It's a little tiny tabbed riff that you can use for that. And we're going to look at the intro, how you might play the intro for this song. And we'll look at some parts of the song with chords over the lyrics. And then I'll play the whole thing for you. And you can join me to play along, or you can just sit back, relax, and enjoy the performance. The performance-ish. If you're looking for the PDF song chart, digital download, printable object thing, you can find that in the members only library on Ko-fi. So if you follow the link in the caption, that will take you over to Ko-fi. You can join as a monthly member and you access the whole library. It is so huge. It's huge. It's the perfect best library. There's over 500 song titles at the time of this song recording, this video recording, and some other ukulele resources. You can also just go to the shop there and there's some freebies, and then you can get just one song title from the library if you would like. So let's get into it. I'm going to put the chords on the screen. Hello, JC in Michigan. Who else here? What? Hey, Caroline, down south from me in Australia. That's cool. Hi, Brad. Okay. Yeah, I love when people tune in from Australia because we're almost kind of in the same time zone compared to people who usually tune in North America. Okay, where is my thing so I can put the chords up? Here it is. Nope, not that one. This one. So the great thing about this song is that it's fairly straightforward. It's not there's nothing like super wild happening. There's a couple of little tricky things that are kind of fun, and one is the intro, and then there's like an interlude thing. That are kind of fun things that we toss into the mix, and we're going to go over all of them. So first, of course, we need the chords. So we have E minor. You can leave the G string open for this E minor shape. You can play it if you want. It's easier to play without it, so you're just leaving the G string open. A. Let's skip over the B7 sus just for a second because that's only the intro chord. We're going to get to it. A minor, D, C, and then a regular old B7. So I like to play a bar to play B7. I bar the second fret, and then you have your middle finger on the C string of the third fret. You can't really, can you play it? Not as a bar. Can't really get your fingers there. B7. Yes. And so let's look at I don't want to look at the intro yet. I want to look at just like the main sort of meat of this song. We'll talk about the intro later because you don't really have to play the intro the way they do it, and it's a bit tricky. So let's just look at the basics. Like, what's the most basic way that you can play this song right off the bat? Oh, yeah. Happy Australia Day. Happy Australia Day, everyone down in Australia. The time of this live stream Is it which day is it actually? Is it today? I'm actually playing this weekend here at an Australia Day festival, and I don't know when the actual day is. But yeah, I'm playing at a beer festival that's Australia Day themed. Okay. So we are looking at the verse chords. So for the verse, the whole time we just repeat this thing, which is E minor for 2 and A for 2. So for all of this arrangement, in between these forward slashes are 4 beats. Usually that's the way these things are organized on the channel because most songs are in this kind of rhythm and meter. So we have E minor for 2 and A for 2 for the verse, and we're just going to repeat that. So if we do that with just a down strum, 1, 2, 3, 4, E minor, A, E minor, A, E minor, A, E minor, A. That's it. Of course, we'll add a strummy kind of strum pattern thing later on. Verse, very simple. The chorus is a little bit more complicated. We have A minor for 2, D for 2, and then we repeat that, A minor for 2, D for 2 again. Then we're going to do that same E minor and A thing, E minor and A for 2 bars, E minor for 2, A for 2, E minor for 2, A for 2. Then we have C for 4, B7 for 4. Then we're back to the E minor A thing. E minor for 2, A for 2, E minor for 2, A for 2. And we repeat this line on each chorus. We repeat this line. So it says times 2, this line. We're going to do this C line one time, and then we go back and do it again from the C. So this section, the chorus, is the she's got it, yeah, baby, she's got it. So let's play just down strumming. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor, D. A minor, D. E minor, A. E minor, A. C. B7. E minor, A. E minor, and now back to the C, B7, E minor, A. That was not E minor. Not too tricky. That's what I like about this song. Is like you can keep it pretty simple. So like if you don't want to do the kind of difficult weird strum thing in the intro, you just want to play and sing this song, these are all the chords you need. This is all the information that you need. We're going to add a little strumminess to it. Let's ignore the intro strum for a minute. Okay, I'm just looking at chat, people. Okay. For the strum, for most bars, we can do this sort of down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up ongoing thing. We're going to throw a chunk into it on the 2 and the 4. So we have down, up, chunk, up, 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 down, up, chunk, up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and let's practice it using the verse chords. So the E minor and the A. And the way that the strum patterns are laid out is the same way the chords are laid out. There's 2 forward slashes, and inside those forward slashes are 4 beats. So this down, up, chunk up, down, up, chunk up corresponds with 1 bar of chords up here. Since we're like almost always changing chords every 2 beats, we're always doing down, up, chunk up for 1 chord, and then down, up, chunk up for another chord. So if we play the E minor and A with this down, up, chunk up strum pattern, it will sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, up, chunk up, 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 down, up, chunk. E minor, A, E minor, A, down, up, chunk up, down, up, chunk up, down, up, chunk up, down, up, chunk up. Da, 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 da. And the switch, the chord switch, tends to be on that up strum that comes on the and right after the chunk. So your hand, your strum hand is playing the up, but since you're switching chords, there won't be much of like a chord sound. Oh, okay, I see what happens. I see what happens. We're changing on the and of 2 and the and of 4. So that chord, the chord sound tends to be whatever the next chord is, right? It's like the chord's coming a little bit earlier than when we just do the down strum. E minor, A, down, up, chunk, up, down, up, chunk, up, down, up, chunk, up, down, up, chunk. But that little space in time, the and of 2 and the and of 4, is the time that you have to change. So if you're not really hitting any chord on it, as long as you're still keeping the rhythm by doing the up strum, it doesn't really matter. Do you know what I mean? The rhythm is, for me, the rhythm is more important than like, did I make a noise? And the next one we're going to use for the C and the B7 that come in the chorus. This is almost the same kind of strum, but instead of chunking, we're just playing down, up, 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 down, up. Because it's kind of building a little bit of suspense when we don't add that rhythmic, that drum kind of sound of the chunk on the 2 and the 4. And this is best for the C and the B7 in the chorus. So we'll use this line. I'll use this line to show you, and I'll do the down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up on the C and the B7. And then I'll switch back to the down, up, chunk up for the E minor and A. I'm trying to move over so you can see my hand. Okay. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 on the C. B7, E minor, A. And then do it again. C, B7, E minor, A. C, B7, E minor, A. And I can tell, I think I'm incidentally, subconsciously putting a chunk on the 4 of the B7 because it like helps you kick back into the other sort of rhythm that you're doing. And it's just happening naturally. This is why it's hard for me to write strum patterns and teach them. But I try to give you the basics. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and C, B7, E minor, A. Do you see that chunk on the 4 on the B7? Down, up, 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 chunk, E minor. C, I'll do it one more time. B7, E minor, A, E minor, A. Random, not totally random, chunk on the B7. Okay, I also tossed in the island strum, like a chunky island strum you can use for this song. It fits rhythmically. If it's like a comfortable place for you to be in. The only thing is that because we switch every 2 beats for most of the song, this E minor A thing and A minor D thing, You're going to have to like switch up the, what am I saying? You're going to have to split the strum pattern into two parts. So you would do, what would you do? You would do, for the first chord in any bar that has two chords, so for the E minor or for the A minor, we're going to play down chunk. And then for the second bar in the second chord in any bar, the A or the D, you're going to play up, up, chunk up. So it's kind of that same idea that we're switching on the and of two, right? So if you did the verse chords with the island strum, down, chunk up, chunky island strum, it will sound like this. Down, chunk up, down, chunk up, 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 chunk up. If we do the chorus chords, the whole thing with island strum. So even the C and B7, when you get here, it's just one round of that island strum pattern. It will sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, chunk up, down, chunk up, A minor, D, A minor, D, E minor, A, E minor, A, C, B7, E minor, A, E minor, A, C, B7, E minor, A. So island strum sounds great. Make it chunky, don't make it chunky, whatever you want. To sound the most like the original, you're going to use these top two strum patterns. Thank you, JC. That's kind of the point of this channel. It's like, I used to make pretty simple lessons, but now I try to make them more in-depth for people who really want to play a song. Like, I totally appreciate sort of faking your way through something using a simple version of it. Like, that's totally fine. But for people who really want to get into, like, making a song sound like it was really written and, like, the little things about it. And we're going to get into a couple little things right now with this song that make it really sound like the original song. It's a bit more difficult. It takes longer to teach. So it's becoming, this channel has grown with my playing. So I used to do very simple lessons. And now that I've played for a long time and I want to play things like they're really played, the lessons are getting more complicated. And not everybody is along for the ride, but there have to be channels that don't just do really simple basic versions of everything. You know what I mean? Because people are going to grow in how they play, and then they want to play things in a more interesting and complicated way. And it's not for everybody. And I'm going to close this one. We're going to talk about the intro. Actually, wait a second. I want to show you the riff. So we're going to increase the difficulty of the thing that we're learning little by little here. So the riff is actually, it's simple, but it's kind of fast. So I found it difficult to throw in when I was like playing this song yesterday. But if you're like really dexterous in your fingers and you can play this as fast as they do in the song, it is 0-3-0-2-2-0-3. And I think if you want to make it more efficient, I'm using my middle finger for the E string and my pointer finger for the A string. 0-3-0-2-2-0-3. So this comes at the end. It comes between a verse and a chorus. And at some point in the song, it comes like between an interlude and a chorus. So it's always leading into the chorus. So if we're doing like, I have a lyric example of it. So we'll just look at the lyric example of it. Wait. No, we won't. We will look at it on the verse later. This is this comes at, so like the end of a verse would be, okay, we might as well just look at the lyrics now. So we can see where it comes. Let me see. Yeah, thank you, JC. There's gotta be a place for people to grow into. And there's a lot of like beginner type channels. But I'm just really interested in music, like playing songs here. It's less of a technical channel. I'm just thinking about it a lot this morning because I had a comment from somebody who they're probably just commenting on every channel, like requesting a song until they find someone who will do it. And I know this because they commented on the first video on the channel and they said they're a beginner. And I'm like, have you even looked at anything that I do here? Like, this isn't really the place. I mean, it could be, it might be, but it's not really a beginner channel. But it doesn't mean that you can't take this information and like play it in a way that's a beginner way. Yeah, I'm a little bit like, have you even looked at any of my stuff? You just comment on the first video. I know what's going on. It happens all the time. Okay, anyway, this riff.
I need to get to it. Let me pull it out here so you can see it.
This riff is going to come at the end of the verse before we start playing the chorus. So I'll try to do it. I'll do a little demonstration of it right now. The last line of this verse, and then it comes, let me see. The summit of beauty and love, and Venus was her name, on that E minor after name. We're going to play the riff, and then it goes right into the chorus. It's pretty tricky, so I'm going to do it slow. One, two, three, four. The summit of beauty and love. Venus was her name. So we're hitting the E minor one time, or you don't even have to hit the E minor one time. If it makes it easier to not, then don't do it. But actually, if you play the E minor, the middle finger and the pointer finger are already in place to help you play the riff. E minor, 0, 3, 0, 2, 2, 0. She's got it. The lyric she's comes on the last note of the riff. Summit of beauty and love, and Venus was her name. She's got it. Yeah, baby, she's got it. Yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky. To summarize, you can play the E minor right after name one time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Or you don't have to play the E minor. Venus was her name. Got it. It's tricky to squeeze it in there because we're taking up every beat of that bar. The E minor on 1, and the riff starts on the and of 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So, why don't I play the verse and the chorus? I'm not going to do the riff this time. I'll show you how you can do it just playing the chords. I'll play the verse and the chorus with the lyrics. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I'm doing the down up chunk and the down up down up down up down up for the C and the B7. Down up chunk up down up chunk up down up chunk up down up chunk up. 1, 2, the summer of beauty and love. Venus was her name. She's got it. Yeah, baby, she's got it. Well, I'm your Venus. I'm your fire, your desire. Well, I'm your Venus. I'm your fire, your desire. Okay, it's just an example. We'll play the whole thing later. Now, the last thing that we have to talk about is the intro and the interlude. The interlude that has a down, 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 down. Let's see how to close it. JC says a lot of people play it like a metronome, but you funk it up and swing it. I don't know if you mean like a metronome or with a metronome. I can't actually play with a metronome. I stop paying attention to the beat. But if it's a drum beat, then I pay attention. Okay, what are we doing? We're trying to like make music here. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to show people that you can play stuff on a ukulele just like you can play stuff on any other instrument. If that makes any sense. I played at a tribute, a 1973 tribute. It was supposed to be last year, but it was like a 50-year-old song thing. And I did Long Train Runnin', the Doobie Brothers. And a lot of the feedback I got was like, wow, it sounds so good on the ukulele. I'm like, yeah, because I play it like an instrument. I'm playing it like an instrument. I play the song like with an instrument. I'm not playing the ukulele version of Long Train Running. I'm playing the song like the song was written. I just play it on the ukulele. Yes, you can. We need chord shapes because we need to look at the B7 sus. Okay, so B7 sus you can make. I find it easier to make the regular B7 and then to like stabilize this chord shape. Make a B7, regular B7, and then I put my ring finger on the C string of the 4th fret. Because this is like G, E, and A on the 2nd fret and then the C string of the 4th fret. But you're gonna probably use your ring finger anyway. So I just go ahead and lay my middle finger down on the C string too. It's just a little more stable for me. This is B7 suspended. There's also, there's another shape of it that you could do, but I don't like the sound personally as much as this B7 sus shape. And I can't remember what it is. Okay, 4420. So the 2nd fret, the E string, and the 4th fret, the G and the C string. It sounds nice. I just, for some reason, prefer this barred one. And then we got a weird strum. We've got a weird strum. And I did my best to lay it out rhythmically, but for me, it's easier to listen to it and kind of imitate what they're doing instead of counting it. When I start to count it, I can't do it. But I wanted to try to show you the rhythm of it, in case you're really concerned about that. So this is the intro strum of the B7 sus. This is like the first chord of the song. So there's this B7 thing. There's this B7 thing 2 times, and then they play the E minor A. Actually, I need to turn that one back on. Yeah. There's 2 bars of B7 with this jangly strum, and then there's the E minor A, and they repeat that. And then they just kind of keep going with now they've settled into the E minor A thing to start playing the verse. So the best notation of this strum that I could manage without it just being all over the place. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Just really fast. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Yeah, I can't even count along with it. But it's the kind of thing that like it's so freely done within the production of the song that you can, as long as you're hitting this down, up, down, up, down, the initial one, it almost doesn't matter what you do after that, because this is like it's like a boom little artistic random moment. It sounds like they didn't really like think, okay, we're gonna do this is the strum that we're gonna do. It was like, just play the chord. Honestly, it's probably what happened in like the recording of this. Just do something on the B7. And the guitarist was like, okay, how does this sound? Well, yeah, that sounds good. Do that. You know what I mean? I think they came around it the back way instead of going, hey, let's do that down, up, down, up, down, up strum. Down, 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 up, down, up, down. Down, 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 up, down, up, down. Down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. 1 E and a 2 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. I can't. I try my best. I'm like, this is going to be interesting how this goes over. So the first time they do it, this first line, and then I'll go into the E minor and A after it so you can kind of see it all together. And then I'll talk about the second time. Because I don't even want to count into it, you know? You just got to hit it. E minor. Now we're to the second time. We're going to do the same thing. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, down. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, down. It just feels ridiculous to try to teach this, honestly. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Yes. Okay, the B7 sus. Yes. JC, when I heard this song, when I was listening to this song yesterday, I was like, are we doing Pinball Wizard? Because it came up somewhere else. They do it again later in the song, and I'm like, is this Pinball Wizard? Which one came first? Okay, I will demonstrate this a few times. Like I said, it's easier for me to feel it. Like I'll listen to it and try to imitate what they do in the production than to go 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E, and it just doesn't happen. 1, 2. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, down. Slower, a little bit slower. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, down. It's hard. If you don't want to or you can't manage doing some very strummy, frantic thing here like they do in the production, you could just play the B7. You could just play it. Play the B7 sus. Just strum it. Or just find some other wild strum that you like to do. You can have a lot of freedom in this B7 sus thing. You can leave it out entirely. You could just start the song on E minor. Yeah. So for the intro, you've got the B7 thing for 2 bars, E minor, A, then you repeat that line, B7, E minor, A, and then you've got 2 more bars of E minor, A before the verse lyrics kick in. And it's the same chords for the verse. I I hope that's not totally confusing. Somebody else might listen. I know that there's a couple of like ups or downs missing that the guitarist does in the original production. This is what I heard when I listened to it. These are like the main, this was what I was able to play to mimic or imitate what he or she is doing with the guitar in the original. So if you listen to it, you might hear something a little bit different and play it differently. And that's okay, because like I said, it's a very free sound, this B7 suspended. It's a very free sound. You do you. Here's the framework that you might like to use, but you do you in the end. Do what works for you in your level of playing at your moment in time with this journey. So there's one more little tricky thing that's a little bit less tricky. And that happens, oh gosh, which chorus is it? Let me grab the iPad. Slightly less tricky bit. I want to see where this comes. I'm going to play the whole thing. So this is after we have verse 1 chorus, verse 2 chorus, and then there's this interlude. So this is the end of the second chorus. We're going to play a B, but we're going to slide up to it. As it says, for these B chords, start at B flat, strum once, and slide up to B. So the B shape, I don't think I put the B shape in the shapes. I have to go back and put it later. The second fret, the E and the A string, the third fret, the C string, and the fourth fret, the G string. This is B. This is B. If you slide it down one fret, it's B flat. So we're going to start on B flat. If you can't do the slide thing, it's just B. Like actually the chorded music in the key of the what makes sense music theoretically is B. So I've notated it as B instead of putting a bunch of B flats in with it because it's just confusing. So this is B essentially coming on the 1, 3, 1, and 3 of these bars, but we're going to slide up to it on the B flat. So make a B flat. Make a B flat, you're going to strum down, and immediately after you strum down, move your fingers up to B. And you get that nice little slidey sound, like they do in the original. So if I go from the last line here to that B flat B thing, it will sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm your Venus, I'm your fire, your desire. Here it is B flat. E minor. Eight times apparently this bar. I'm going to do it again from the C. 1, 2, 3, 4. B7, E minor, A, E minor, A. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I think it's the ah part. And then when you get done with all of these 8 rounds of this E minor A, I don't know how many I did, you can do the little riff. E minor, A, E minor, A. Let's do 2 more times. Got it. Yeah, baby, she's got it. Wow. Okay, and on that note, we're going to play the whole thing. So, anytime, well, let me explain the interludes and the outro of this song. The intro, we got that weird B7 thing. We're going to end the song the same way. The intro and the outro of this song are the same. They come full circle. So we got the B7 suspended thing happening for the intro, verse 1, and the chorus. And all of this will be on the screen if you don't have the PDF and you want to follow along a little bit. This is what most of the song looks like. Verse 1 chorus. Whenever there's an interlude in this song, it's E minor and A. So after the first chorus, we've got E minor and A for a while. Then we have verse 2 and chorus. After the second chorus, we do that slidey B flat thing. And then we're back to E minor and A again. It goes into the chorus. That's a little part that I just demonstrated. And after that chorus, we do that B flat B slidey thing again. And after that round of those B flat B things, then it goes back to this B7 outro. We end the song the same way we started it. The original production just fades. You can play E minor and A as long as you like and end the song on E minor. And we're going to play it. Going to play the whole thing. I think I talked about all the things. Yep. I talked about all these things. Okay. Yeah. So if you want to see all the parts of the song laid out, all the interludes with all the chords and the lyrics and everything, you can get the full version that I'm going to play right now. I'm following my own PDF that I made for the song. It is available for members, or you can just buy it in the shop. Let's hit it. Yeah. On the B7 thing. I don't even know if I'm going to do the same strum like that I notated. Let's see. For the B7. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, B7. E minor, A. E minor, A. B7. E minor, A. Just do it with conviction. Whatever you choose to do with that B7 suspended, just do it with conviction. Okay, verse 1. Here we go. I got us on a mountain top, burning like a silver flame. The summit of beauty and love. Venus was her name. She's got it. Yeah, baby, she's got it. Well, I'm your Venus. I'm your fire, your desire. Well, I'm your Venus. I'm your fire, your desire. So now we're just playing E minor and A for a while. I think that was 4, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, verse 2. Her weapons were her crystal eyes, making every man mad. Black as a dark night she was, got what no one else had. She's always played it right. Got it. Yeah, baby, she's got it. I didn't have the riff in front of me. I was just trying to memorize it. Remember it from memory. You know what I mean. Well, I'm your Venus. I'm your fire, your desire. What am I doing? Oh, yeah, B flat. That ah thing is. 5, 6, 7, 8. We're back to the chorus. She's got it. Yeah, baby, she's got it. Well, I'm your Venus. I'm your fire, your desire. Well, I'm your Venus. Your desire. desire. B flat, B, 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 da-na-na-na-na, whatever that strum is on the B7 size, E minor. Just rock out. See that? I just did my own thing. I don't even know what it was. I don't even know what it was. I just made it up. Yay! Honestly, it's just fun to just rock out on the B7. Like, don't even think about what you're doing. Just play some shit. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about. Okay, everybody. I feel like this was all over the place, but I hope that you gleaned some interesting information from it. If you like this lesson, don't forget to click like. And I will see y'all very soon with another live lesson or recorded lesson. Have a great weekend. Peace out. Happy strumming and stay funky. Bye-bye.